Welcome to English Conversation Café. Learn English through natural conversations.
Okay, so I'm going to need you to imagine something. It's Sunday morning. You wake up. Everything is normal. You make your coffee. You feel good about life.
I like where this is going.
And then you pick up your phone, and you have 47 unread messages in the group chat before 9 a.m.
47?
47, Max.
What happened?
That is exactly what I asked myself. I had to scroll all the way back to the beginning, like a crime detective, going through the evidence. And do you know what started it?
What?
One message, one single text, that someone read completely, totally, 100% wrong.
One message caused 47 replies?
One message, 47 replies, multiple people upset, and I did absolutely nothing. I was just there, watching, in my pajamas, eating toast.
This is already the best story I've heard this week.
And we're just getting started.
Welcome to English Conversation Café. I'm Max.
And I'm Haley, currently still processing my Sunday morning.
We are absolutely going to get into that story. But first, if you are new here, welcome. This is a podcast where we have real, natural conversations to help you practice real, everyday English.
No textbooks, no grammar tests, just two friends talking, like normal people do.
And today we are doing what we call real English practice, which means no structured lesson, no topic we're teaching, just 3 conversations you would genuinely have in real life.
We've got drama, we've got excuses, and we've got plans for the week, all flowing naturally, just like a real conversation between friends.
And if that sounds like exactly what you need to practice, then do us a favor right now. Hit subscribe. It takes 2 seconds, and it really does help us keep growing.
We put a lot of love into every episode. Subscribing is the best way to say thank you, and also to make sure you don't miss the next one.
All right, let's get into it. Haley, tell me about these 47 messages.
Okay, so the group chat. There are 8 of us in this chat. We've all known each other for a few years. It's normally very chill. Memes, random updates, making plans. Nice and relaxed.
Normally.
Normally. And then one person, let's call her Sarah, sends a message on Saturday night. And the message was, "Hey, I can't make it tomorrow. Something came up."
Okay, that sounds pretty normal.
It sounds completely normal. No drama in that message at all. But she didn't explain what came up. No details, just something came up.
And people filled in the blank.
They filled in the blank. So someone, let's call him Jake, replies. And all he wrote was, "Again?"
Just, again? With a question mark?
Just again? That is the whole message. 5 letters and a question mark. And that is the message that blew up the entire chat.
Because it could mean so many things.
It could mean so many things. It could be frustration. It could be a genuine question, like, "Wait, has this happened before?" It could even be a joke between friends. You have no idea from just reading it.
And that's the problem with text messages, right? There's no voice, no face, no tone. You can't always read between the lines because there are barely any lines to read.
And everyone just fills the gap with whatever they're already feeling.
And usually people jump to conclusions. They pick the most dramatic interpretation.
Every single time. Someone in the chat read "again" as passive-aggressive. So they replied with, "Wow, okay." And then someone else replied to that with, "What do you mean, wow, okay?" And then suddenly it's a whole thing.
From 5 letters to a full group argument.
In about 12 minutes. I was watching it happen in real time. It was like a slow-motion car crash. I could see where it was going, and I could not look away.
Did Sarah respond?
She did. And honestly, her response was completely reasonable. She said, "I just have a lot going on right now, and I'm sorry I can't make it."
which is a perfectly normal thing to say.
Perfectly normal. But by that point, the chat was already heated. And so someone read, "I have a lot going on," as her being defensive, as if she was making excuses instead of just explaining herself.
When she was just explaining herself.
That's all she was doing. But once people have already jumped to conclusions and decided what the situation is, it almost doesn't matter what you say after that. The story has already been written in everyone's heads.
The misunderstanding takes on a life of its own.
Yes, and I know Sarah, she's not dramatic. She genuinely always has reasons. But some people in the chat don't have that context. They were each working with their own piece of the story.
It's like everyone was reading a different chapter of the same book.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, exactly like that. And because they didn't have the full story, they filled the gaps with assumptions. And assumptions in a group chat are dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous. Because then other people react to the assumption, not to the reality. One wrong read and the whole thing can blow up.
And it just snowballs. Every reply adds a little more heat and a little less information.
Did you say anything? Did you get involved?
I did not say a single word.
Haley.
I know. But genuinely, what was I going to say? I didn't want to take a side because I understood everyone a little bit. And sometimes the kindest thing you can do in that situation is just let it breathe.
Or stay out of it entirely.
Exactly. I muted my notifications and made a second cup of coffee.
Very mature.
Thank you, I've been told.
How did it resolve?
Sarah messaged a few people individually the next day and explained what was actually going on in her life. Some real stuff she was dealing with. And once people understood the actual context, everything calmed down.
Because the moment you have the full picture, the whole thing looks different.
Completely different. What looked like someone being flaky and dismissive was actually someone going through something quiet and difficult who didn't feel ready to share it with a whole group chat.
And nobody knew. Because a short text message doesn't carry all of that.
It just can't. Texts are flat. A real conversation is three-dimensional.
You know what's interesting, though? Sarah saying, "Something came up and I have a lot going on right now." Those are very classic phrases people use when they're trying to get out of something or explain something without fully explaining it.
They really are. And sometimes they're completely honest, like in Sarah's case. And sometimes they're just well-crafted reasons for not wanting to do something.
Ah, so you're saying sometimes it's an excuse.
I'm saying it can go either way.
Because we've all done it, right? Said something came up when really the thing that came up was not wanting to go.
The thing that came up was my couch. My couch came up. It needed me.
The couch had plans for you.
It did. It had very specific plans. And who am I to say no?
Okay, I feel like we have naturally arrived at our next topic. Excuses.
Oh, we're going there.
We are absolutely going there.
Okay, making excuses. I feel called out before we've even started.
Why? Are you a big excuse maker?
Max, everyone makes excuses. The question is just, how good are yours?
Okay, fair. What makes a good excuse?
Specificity and emotion. Those are the two ingredients. A bad excuse is vague and flat. I can't come, I'm busy. That's bad. A good excuse sounds like, I would absolutely love to be there, but I already promised my sister I'd help her with something, and I really can't move it. That's good.
Okay, give me a situation. Test me.
All right, your coworker invites you to their birthday dinner. You barely know them. It's on a Wednesday night. You don't want to go.
My excuse would be, "Oh no, Wednesday. I would have loved to come, but I have something I really can't move. Happy birthday, though. I hope it's amazing." And then I'd follow up the next day to wish them well.
Solid. The follow-up is a nice touch. It shows you care about the person even if you didn't go.
What would yours be?
I'd go a step further. I'd come up with an excuse that involves someone else. Like, My roommate is having a really hard week, and I promised her we'd spend the evening together. Now I'm not just busy, I'm a loyal, caring friend.
You've made the excuse into a character moment for yourself.
Exactly. The best excuses make you look good in the process. You're not just getting out of something, you're getting out of it with your reputation intact.
That is genuinely impressive. Okay, what about the excuses that completely backfire? Because I feel like we've both had those.
Oh, yes, yes, we have.
I'll go first. Years ago, someone asked me to help them move apartments, and I said I had a dentist appointment.
Classic. Did you?
I did not have a dentist appointment.
Max.
I know, but moving is genuinely so hard. Hours of carrying boxes in the heat, and I panicked and I said the first thing that came to mind. Dentist.
And did it work?
It worked in the moment, but I felt guilty about it for weeks. Like every time I saw that person, I was thinking about the fake dentist appointment.
That's the thing about excuses. When they work, you feel relieved for about 5 minutes, and then you feel terrible for 5 days.
Especially when you actually like the person and you just didn't want to carry their furniture.
The furniture was the enemy, not the person.
The furniture was absolutely the enemy. Okay, what's yours? Worst excuse.
Okay, so I once told someone I couldn't come somewhere because I was sick. Very standard, very reliable, completely believable.
Solid foundation?
And then I ran into them, in public, that same afternoon, while I was completely healthy and eating an ice cream cone.
No.
In broad daylight, Max. Full sunshine ice cream cone, no sign of illness whatsoever. And I saw them and I made the critical error of making eye contact before I could look away.
Eye contact is the end. Once there's eye contact, you're committed.
It's all over. So I had to walk over. And I smiled my biggest smile and said, "Oh, I'm feeling a little better." And they just looked at the ice cream cone and said nothing.
They let the ice cream speak for itself.
The ice cream was the evidence, Max. It was right there. Damning, delicious evidence. And they said nothing. No reaction. Just looked at the cone, looked at me, looked back at the cone.
That silence was the most powerful response they could have given.
I think about that moment at least once a month. 4 years later, still haunts me.
The lesson is, if you're going to come up with an excuse about being sick, you have to commit to the bit. You cannot be seen in public eating ice cream.
You have to fully disappear for 24 hours. No social media, no public outings. You're sick. You stay sick.
Okay, and the worst excuse someone used on you?
Oh, okay. A friend, a former friend, loosely, canceled on me 1 hour before we were supposed to meet. And her excuse was, "I just got a really bad feeling about leaving the house today."
A feeling.
A vibe, Max. She canceled on me because of a vibe. The vibe said stay home, and she listened to the vibe.
You genuinely cannot argue with that. What would you even say?
There is nothing to say. I disagree with your vibe. You can't fight a feeling. It's almost genius.
It's creative, I'll give her that.
I was annoyed and impressed at the same time. That excuse was airtight because it was completely unverifiable.
Honestly, the more we talk about excuses, the more I think what we're actually talking about is why honesty feels so hard sometimes. Like, why do we feel like we can't just say, "I don't want to come"?
Because saying, "I don't want to come" sounds harsh, even if it's the truth. It sounds like you're rejecting the person.
So excuses are sometimes a form of kindness, a way of protecting the other person from something that might sting unnecessarily.
Sometimes, yes. Like, if your friend invites you to see their band play and the band is not great, "I have to work late" is a kinder answer than the truth.
Compassionate excuses. We need that as a category.
Compassionate excuses, write that down. But honestly, the older I get, the more I try to just be upfront. Not brutally honest, just, I need to take it easy this week. Can we reschedule? Same result. And the ice cream stays home with you.
Where it belongs.
Exactly. No witnesses, no guilt.
You know, you mentioned taking it easy. And I feel like after all of this, the group chat, the excuses, the drama, it's kind of the right vibe to end on. Like, what is actually happening this week? What does a normal, real week look like for you right now?
Wait, are you doing the smooth topic transition again?
I'm always doing the smooth topic transition
I see it coming every time and I still walk into it.
because it works.
Because it works. Okay, fine. Plans for the week.
Okay, so it's Sunday night. People are listening to this right now, thinking about the week ahead. What does your week look like?
Honestly, I have a lot on my plate this week. More than I'd like.
What kind of things?
Okay, so Monday. There's some admin stuff I've been putting off, like boring paperwork type things. I keep telling myself I'll do it, and then I find something else to do instead.
Classic.
So, Monday, it's happening, whether I like it or not. I'm blocking the morning, making a big cup of coffee, and just getting through it. No excuses.
No excuses. Growth.
I know, right? And then Tuesday. I'm really looking forward to Tuesday, actually. I'm meeting a friend for lunch. We haven't seen each other in almost a month.
A proper catch-up.
A proper in-person catch-up. We've been texting, but as we've established today, texting is flat. It's not the same as sitting across from someone with food and just actually talking.
Especially after a month. There's probably a lot to cover.
So much. Things that would take 47 messages to get through are going to take like 10 minutes face-to-face.
Full circle.
Everything comes back to the chat. And then Wednesday. I'm keeping Wednesday open, like intentionally empty.
A nothing day. On purpose.
On purpose, yes. I've learned that I need at least one day a week where there's nothing scheduled, or I start to feel really burned out. Like I'm running from thing to thing with no space to just breathe.
That's actually really wise. A lot of people fill every day and then wonder why they feel exhausted.
Exactly. The empty space is not wasted time. It's recovery time. And Wednesday is mine. I might go for a walk, I might stay in my pajamas. Depends how I feel.
That's the perfect day, honestly.
And then Thursday and Friday. A few things here and there, nothing too heavy. And the weekend, I just want to take it easy. No big plans. Just see how the week ends and go from there.
Flexible weekend. That's the dream.
I used to feel guilty about not having weekend plans. Like I should always be doing something. But now, an open Saturday is a gift.
Completely. Okay, so what about you? What does your week look like?
Wait, you're asking me? You haven't told me yours yet.
Mine starts pretty packed and then opens up. Monday and Tuesday, I'm finishing something I've been working on for a while. Just a project that needs to get done and sent. And I really want to close it out this week.
That feeling of finally finishing something and sending it off is so satisfying.
There's nothing better. Like, you've been carrying it around in your head. It's taking up mental space. And then suddenly, it's done and off your list, and you feel 10 kilos lighter.
Yes, mental weight is a real thing.
Very real. So Monday, Tuesday, finish the project. And then Wednesday, I'm planning to get outside more. Like, genuinely. I've been inside too much lately, and I can feel it.
There's something about this time of year. The weather is getting better, and you feel this pull to be out in it. Like nature is personally inviting you.
And if you ignore the invitation, you feel guilty about it.
Nature guilt. It's so real.
So Wednesday, outside. Walks, fresh air. Maybe sit somewhere with a coffee and just be a person in the world for a bit.
That sounds genuinely lovely.
And then Thursday, I'm hoping to finally catch up with a friend I keep saying I'll see and then postponing. You know how it is. You text back and forth for weeks. Let's hang soon. Yes, definitely. And then nothing happens.
The endless soon. Soon is the most dangerous word in friendship.
It really is. Soon can mean next week, or it can mean 8 months from now.
You have to give soon a specific date or it will never arrive.
That is exactly right. So this week, I'm giving soon a date. Thursday. We're locking it in.
Good. Just pick the day, pick the place, send the message. Done.
Done. And then the weekend, similar to you, honestly. I want to take it easy. Maybe cook something new. Maybe read. Nothing too committed.
What are you going to cook?
I don't know yet. That's part of the fun. I'll go to the market and just see what looks good and decide from there.
I love that approach. Very unbothered.
Unbothered is the goal for the whole weekend.
Same. I feel like that's the energy for this week. Get the things done, see the people you've been missing, and protect a little space for yourself.
And you've done all of that in English, naturally. What are you up to this week? How's your week looking? Those are sentences people use every single day. Now you've heard the rhythm of them.
That's the whole point of today. Real English. Real conversation.
And speaking of you, our listener, we have a question for you.
Yes, okay. We want to hear from you. Comment below. What is one thing you are looking forward to this week?
It can be anything. Big, small, a meeting, a meal, a day off, a conversation, anything. Write it in the comments in English. Practice what you've just heard us do.
We genuinely read the comments and we love hearing from you. So drop it below, even just one sentence.
All right, let's do the cafe rewind.
Cafe Rewind time. This is where we go back through today's conversation and pull out the best expressions so you can actually use them.
We've got 7 for you today, across the drama, the excuses, and the week. Let's go one by one. Number 1, blow up. The group chat blew up.
When something blows up, it suddenly becomes very big and very intense, very fast. A small situation that gets out of control quickly, like a fire that spreads.
Example, one comment and the whole conversation blew up.
Now you try. Repeat after me. Blow up. Number 2, read between the lines.
To read between the lines means to understand something that isn't directly said, to find the hidden meaning behind someone's words. You're looking for what they really mean, not just what they wrote.
Example, she didn't say she was upset, but you could read between the lines.
Repeat. Read between the lines. Number 3, jump to conclusions.
This means to decide something is true before you have all the information. You make a judgment too fast, without waiting to understand the full situation.
Example, I jumped to conclusions and thought he was angry, but he was just tired.
Repeat. Jump to conclusions. Number 4, come up with an excuse.
To come up with something means to think of it, to create it. So, come up with an excuse means to invent a reason, real or not, for why you can't do something.
Example, I didn't want to go, so I came up with an excuse about being busy.
Repeat. Come up with an excuse. Number 5, get out of something.
To get out of something means to avoid doing it, to escape from a responsibility or a plan you don't want to do, like finding a way to not be involved.
Example, he really didn't want to help, so he tried to get out of it.
Repeat. Get out of something. Number 6, have a lot on my plate.
This means to be very busy, to have many things to deal with at the same time. Think of a plate full of food. When your plate is full, you can't fit anything else on it.
Example, I can't take on anything new right now. I already have a lot on my plate.
Repeat. Have a lot on my plate. Number 7, catch up.
To catch up with someone means to meet them after not seeing them for a while and talk about everything that has been happening in your lives. Reconnecting, getting back to where you were.
Example. We haven't talked in months. We really need to catch up.
Repeat, catch up.
7 expressions. 3 conversations. 1 very eventful Sunday morning.
The group chat will never be the same.
All right, that's our cafe rewind. Let's close it out.
Okay, that is a wrap on episode 31 of English Conversation Café. Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
This is honestly one of my favorite types of episode to make, because there's no big lesson plan. It's just a real conversation, and the learning happens naturally inside of it.
Which is exactly how it should be, because that's how you actually get better at English, not by studying words in a list, but by hearing them used in real moments, real stories, real back and forth.
You've heard us talk about group chat drama, making excuses, and planning a week. You've heard the expressions. You've heard the rhythm. And some of that is already in your head now, even if it doesn't feel like studying.
That's the whole point. Learning without it feeling like learning.
If you enjoyed this episode, the best thing you can do, the single most helpful thing, is subscribe. It helps us grow, it helps new listeners find us, and it keeps us motivated to keep making these.
And leave us a comment. Tell us what you're looking forward to this week. We love reading them. We love hearing where you're from, what you're working on, what you're learning.
This is a community, and you're part of it.
All right, until next time, I'm Haley.
And I'm Max. Take it easy, everyone.
See you at the cafe.
Thank you for listening. We hope today's conversation helped you understand real English better. Subscribe and join us for the next episode.